session. We're going to talk about the applications that will be on the CD and therefore installed by default when users install the Ubuntu Desktop Edition. There were four overall sections that we structured the discussion on. Games, a video editor, is it time to remove the GIMP? And then can we just look through each section and see if there's like any other application tweaks that we want to make? Is there anything else that anyone would like us to put on the agenda?
That sounds interested in all auto all the time. Obviously.
Okay. Okay. So
yeah, we can also run to this, like have a quick run to the seeds and pick out anything which might be obsolete or so.
Run through seeds. Or are you saying something
like
about bowing to evil overlords? Okay. Okay. All right.
Synaptic, removing it.
Okay.
Oh, we can't.
He just wants to put it on the. He just wants to put it on the agenda.
Okay. I did the backend, and like Update Manager is using it as a backend, and GTBy is using it as a backend.
Yeah, and also the codec.
And the codec is using it. And
we can hide it from the menu, though.
Yes. It's being used.
We can hide from the menu. Okay.
This is something that like the reviews always commend us on because Synaptics are great. No other distro has such a bad. Anyway.
All right. So let's start from the beginning. Game selection. I see that one of our trusted compatriots has made some rich comments about game selection. Would you like to comment?
Yes. So I've got a list. I think we should drop it down to around 5 games. Waiting for the list to load.
You know, I have the list here. Do you want me to just put it in the book?
It's in the menu, isn't it?
Yeah.
So where's first bubble?
So obviously I'm biased in this matter because I actually work on video games, but it needs feedback as well. So one of the things that's happening in the latest cycle for drone games is changing network support from GGZ, which was a protocol that didn't really work out, using telepathy tubes. So I think we should look at what happens this cycle and definitely pick ones that have a networking component. And aside from that, pick the ones that are the most fun or the most reliable. So my guess was, where did I go?
What's this GNOME Games collection list for?
Right, so that's what the GNOME Games project makes. So they release a single tarball that contains all those games. So previously that was one package. You install GNOME Games, you got all those games at once. So in Carmack split that. So the GNOME Games package now installs separate D packages for each game. So we can choose games based on which ones we want. We can omit the ones we don't, but they're still all available in the archive. And there's a few non-GNOME games, ones that I know of that are of good quality, which is Atomics, Hearts, Brainy, and Frozen Bubbles.
I'm not quite following. You're saying we should install all the current package games?
No. I'm saying we used to have to, we don't have to, and now we should pick a set of games that we think is best.
Do we need Isle Rot Solitaire?
I believe that's very popular. So there's a list. Have you got the list?
Or is this the patients, right?
So there was a survey done in...
Oh, here's your list of recommendations.
Yeah. So there was a survey done in GNOME Games a while back when they decided to add a roof to games, and that's some feedback we have about relatively how popular the games are. So Isle Rot, Solitaire, Mahjong were 2 of the top games at that time. So I'd recommend we keep those because I believe they're popular.
And Sudoku probably as well.
Yeah. You guys, I don't have any information on that.
But seeing the number of bugs we get about Sudoku time being wrong, I think maybe
it is. It's really buggy.
57 seconds?
Yeah.
What is it?
The Sudoku timing is like buggy.
Oh.
And we get many bugs about it, so many users are like...
Yeah, my wife complained as well. It's just like critical.
Is it that fixable?
No.
Product?
The code's horrible. I don't like it.
No?
Anyway, so
Okay.
Potentially fixable.
So Sudoku is popular, but
Yeah.
Sudoku is popular and buggy and hard to maintain.
Yeah.
So one that I need to ask on is chess. So I write the chess program, so I can't make a call on that one. But I know that both Apple and Microsoft distribute chess, so I don't know how popular it is really. One of the ones I'm interested in is Brainy, which is the sort of mind tool, because that seems like a really popular type of game at the moment. So we should probably consider adding that. Although,
He uses mono.
What's that about?
I don't know. Does anyone? So I tried Brainy. It seemed a little complicated for that style of game.
It was a little hard for you.
I don't know if anyone else has tried it or what they think of it, but it.
I tried it recently.
Yeah, do people like it? I mean, is it? Because it seems like a really appropriate game for the current sort of style of games, and that would be a bit of a selling point for a bunch of.
So was that the one that you can play with other human players on the net? Or?
I don't know if you can.
Because including such a game would be nice, because so far the games we have are only like a single player one.
Yeah.
And having one like collaborative internet game would really be fun.
Yeah.
Like for example.
One thing that I don't think we would have time for, and especially not for an LTS, but would be interesting. So we did a wallpaper contest. It would be interesting to do a games contest.
Yeah.
Where we would inspire people to create new games. We would say, they should be collaborative and network enabled, and we could get some really fresh ideas. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I think in general, the desktop games, there's a lot of games that people start working, but they never really finish. It's not like Flash games where we will get great games, but maybe that's changed. Maybe it's easier enough to develop now that people will make nice games.
Yeah.
My gut feel would be we wouldn't get great games out of it.
Well, we're going to have a session on quickly later this afternoon. We're discussing making a Pi game template.
Yeah.
And we could probably
or
build
Flutter or something.
Like maybe we could build telepathy into that. So like when the developer creates it, by default it's telepathy enabled.
Not sure whether we can hope for getting a really good and solid game within the Lucid time frame for that.
Well, but it doesn't have. Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to ship on default on the disk, but just to his point, I think we can. I think if we can unlock creative people who are currently blocked by the programming, but like have ideas about games, we should do that.
That raises another point about clutter. Is so GNOME Games is also progressively moving to clutter. Is clutter stable enough? Can we have games with clutter? Or is that going to be limiting people? I don't know what the state of. So, for instance, the Tetris game is now cluttered, but it's buggy. So I don't know if that's.
Tetris is buggy.
Tetris is buggy.
Clutter that's really buggy. It's going to be.
It'll be. Yeah, exactly.
So Clutter's got kind of 1.0 release during the cycle, and from now on it'll be stable way to go.
So are you saying we can count on it? We can count on clutter? Okay.
It seems some people use ATI cards. Like maybe that's a close survivor of issues with.
I don't know about HTML. I mean, you can count on the libraries. I don't know how.
We can't count on it, Seb?
Apparently, some users have issues with like the Tetris version, but others like.
Yeah, it's the background.
Cancel the release.
Yes.
Maybe just no games.
Well,
I think
Tetris is a must.
On the GNOME side, Mahjong being most highly rated and very, very high quality. And Sudoku, I think, is still extremely popular.
Yeah.
And
Just seeing like normal users, like my girlfriend's father, she's trying to convince him, you need to use Ubuntu, and he's like, I'm scared. Like Sudoku coming default installed was like a big thing for her. So that's really cool.
Okay, can we agree to keep Sudoku by default?
Yeah.
And then maybe somebody can look at whether it's possible to fix the
And I'd say
timing issue.
Mahjong, please, just because it's very good.
I already got
And
that.
Minds.
I already got that. Mines?
Minds, yes.
Mines, no.
No?
Yes.
Mine is not so obvious.
I think that's very poorly finished. That was just my opinion of it. I don't think I can reuse it. I've never seen it. It's something people
rock solid
recognize.
But if we're speaking of things that are getting a little bit dated.
Yeah, it looks. It doesn't look.
It looks kind of Windows 95,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, what about Isle Rot?
I
And
don't know
many
that
user.
Silent testing something.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but people love free stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So that's the concept. Yeah.
Freestyle is like very popular.
Free Cell instead of Isle Rot?
No, I think that is.
No, Isle Rot. Free Cell is a game
It
within
is
the
Isle
Isle
Rot.
Rot
Yes.
system. Is it complicated? Is Isle Rot like you have to...
No, it's
No,
probably.
not if you're used to card games. If you're used to card games, it's
I meant like the interface. Some cards, it's like you have to like choose a game and everything.
Yeah, it is like
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and there's a huge
So is it
list,
hard to get
and there's no
started?
description. So you,
I
the
always
first game's
install
easy.
the regular contact solitaire, the standard solitaire. You can select game and choose other types of card games.
Could we ask you to take a look at it and see if we could tweak the UI of it?
Yeah, maybe like the first time you started up,
That,
like,
I mean, you can just open the game and go.
Yeah, but you can choose.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
of course
just.
you can, but I mean, you open the game and you can just go take
Hey,
the
Siegel,
card.
how do you go online? I forget your name.
DJ Seal.
DJ Siegel. Okay.
I mean, it's nothing hard to use it.
One thing I just wanted to throw out there, and this might not find free programs to satisfy this, but maybe Prism instances of online games.
What? Huh?
So we would have entries in the games menu that you actually open a window that's an online game.
Yeah, but then you need to investigate what's a good online game to endorse, really.
Right.
What do you mean?
Adventures. It's awesome.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean.
So like, there's one popular game right now, Clockwords. Has anyone seen that game? Or Farmville. That's a huge example. I'm not saying we would have to do Farmville, but Farmville is like a
Something
Facebook
like that.
app and it goes online and
I do think it would be sweet to have a game like that, but I'm not sure we have one. Like some kind of weird collaborative Ubuntu-y thing.
I mean, it's actually like hosted on a web server, and you open up like a Prism instance, like a small web page.
So we could do
You can
that.
use WebKit,
I don't know.
use Prism.
But at the launch pad triage
Talking
back there.
about for Lucid or anything. But we could do that with an Ubuntu one time.
Yeah.
You know your Facebook. Ubuntu one knows the Facebook credentials through other ways.
Something
Then you
like
can
that.
go do the farm bill Facebook page.
Right.
Access to the game.
Like, you don't need to use Prism particularly, you can use WebKit instead.
I'm sure anyone who's on Facebook has already received like 200 billion invitations to farm bills. So
Yeah.
hopefully we don't need to do
But
that.
just the way that people would think about that is they'll go to the games menu and see a game that they've heard of or that they even use, and that would be the way they would access it. So it would expose them to the other things in the menu. They would attribute the having installed the game to Ubuntu. They would go Ubuntu install Farmville.
So I think that's a sweet idea,
It's an idea.
but I think it's a tad out of scope for our
This
LTS
is just
release.
brainstorming.
So can we look at
Future release.
Robert's list here and say, is this the plan of record that this is the set of games that we're going to ship?
So it's just those three?
No.
Oh, Tetris probably as
What
well.
about
I mean,
chess,
how can you
Brainy,
not-
and Tetris also?
How can you not have
What about
Tetris?
backend?
How about backend?
Backgammon is really an American-specific game, I think.
Backgammon?
I've never seen any European action. playing
Baseball
game.
and backgammon. It's American.
Fair enough.
I think it's a really American thing.
Who's
myself.
not American in this room that plays backend?
Who's American?
I
Yeah.
can't tell what's American and not
So we have a representative poll.
It's certainly not from America anyway.
It's
but-
not from America, but I don't think anyone else plays it.
I don't know
Okay.
how many people in the U.S. play.
Does it have an online
No.
setting? Okay.
This is one of the disadvantages of this list, is chess is the only one that has a really obvious multiplayer component. All the rest of these are more or less solitaire games.
But we don't have any. I just don't know what to say. I mean,
Can we play chess?
I really-
this is a random question. Can we play chess
Shake
by
this.
MCDF? Can we play chess by
No.
MCD, like between two people on different computers?
No, but I would potentially add that as like,
Yeah,
if I get the
we
tool.
should.
What are you chafing at?
Chess is too complex.
Chess, but people play chess.
The assertion that chess is
Who said it was too complex?
too
Oh.
I don't know.
It's written in your
Yeah.
If you're
My
if you're playing
14-year-old
against the
son
computer,
mops the floor with me.
I think the AI needs to be dumbed down.
Okay, that is a completely open question, right? So I'm not a big chess player. I am the maintainer of chess. I have an open bug that I constantly tell people, okay, I know the AI is too hard. Someone tell me a default AI and some default settings, and they will be the official settings. And no one has come back. Like, I keep prompting people, and no one seems to know how to configure GNU Chess or pick another chess engine that is appropriate.
We need a level
Being
one.
advanced.
We need a level one. It's true. It does kick
You
my
need
ass.
one.
But
You need one
so does my
that automatically
10-year-old
throwing a mistake.
We need one that consults GNU chess for what not to do.
The advantage of the chess game, though, is not the AI; it's the multiplayer.
Yeah, the one person.
So I
That's
don't
why
think
you
we should block on that.
Yeah. That's why if you put an empathy support, it'd be good. If you could justify the
This is just weak. I just wish we had some sweet games.
There are a ton of other
There's
games.
some multiplayer game that's in there already then.
What's that?
You guys play.
Sudoku.
Oh, you're thinking of Frozen Bubble, which we want. We want Frozen Bubble on the disc, but it takes 25 megabytes. It depends to play Frozen Bubble, so we'd have to remove the Linux kernel, for instance. So Frozen Bubble has like an online built-in.
I think they have a plugin for Sudoku in Empathy already. I think it was a Google's or called.
It was Summer of Code.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite done with it, but I think he's very close.
Yeah, so maybe we should investigate that.
Okay, when you say we, is that you?
I don't know. I'd look into it.
Okay, who should I put down for that?
Yeah, same thing.
Fagan?
Yeah.
Fagan to investigate Sudoku telepathy integration.
Yeah.
But, so people were saying there's more great games. So what are these great games that we have that's not on the list?
Well, Alien Arena.
Yeah, that's huge. Huge.
I know. Well, I wasn't proposing it for the disc. I was answering Robert's question.
Blob Wars. Blob Wars.
Mob Wars?
Blob.
Oh, Blob Wars.
That's awesome.
Adventure.
That's Software Center.
What? Ego Boo.
No, just
Like all the
on a
FPSs
bag,
are just too big to fit a disc. You nearly get a disc with just that.
Yeah, and it's also like not a universally. It's not much of a lowest common denominator. I don't think there's that many people.
Oh, Battle of Westlock.
Yeah. Battle of Westnoth. Could somebody like clean up the artwork in that thing? Like it would be a great game if it like looked sweet.
It looks horrible.
Really? Okay. It's pretty low expectations. It's fun though.
I don't think is there usually a maintainer of that. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, it's too big to consider it.
It's not. Yeah.
Crowd suggests Edge Wars.
Because I think
Edge Wars?
the difference between like
Okay. Okay.
I think they more or less rely on the community. Well, I don't know what the people in, but it's about 2 megs by itself.
So I think we're not going to make much more progress on this, considering size restrictions and the games available. But would anybody like to? Sorry, okay.
There's Tetrinet as well. Tetrinet.
What is it?
Tetrinet. It's a Tetris online.
Oh, maybe we should do that one instead of regular Tetris. Is there a single-player version of it of Tetrinet?
You can. I think you can play.
It's not very meaningful to play alone. Like the whole fun of Tetranet is that you get to screw the other.
Really?
But you can't do the regular Tetris with it?
I don't think it's very interesting.
Oh, it's G-Tetris.
Like it doesn't do levels and stuff, for example.
I see.
So it's 300 kilobyte? Oh no, this is Tetranet.
Okay, Tetranet. See, because that's more along the lines of what I was hoping was to get like some collaborative play going and get make it so Ubuntu is more like you connect to your friends and stuff more, like especially through the games. Yeah. So
especially for chess, we really need chess.
I think for Lucid we're a bit SOL. Would anybody like to own this problem for Lucid +1? Like make some progress, like working with upstreams, figuring out like best practices for moving apps to telepathy.
Yeah.
Okay, and also I think some of the default games could use some design love, and I'm sure a lot of these game designers would just really love to have some artists come and help them with the artwork and stuff. So
Yeah, GNOME Games is very lacking in developers and artists.
Yeah.
okay.
We have a hard time maintaining the games that are there, so we're constantly trying to drop them.
Okay. So Robert Ansel owns the long-term problem making games look better and be integrated with telepathy.
So if your activity report has like 15 hours playing games,
As long as it's with upstreams. And we should talk to the Collabora guys and make sure that we have good sample code and stuff like that to make it easy. Okay. Does everyone feel like they've had their input for the default games? And can we move on to discuss the default? So I think it's time to have a video editor by default. I think there's a basic expectation. Editing videos is the new sorting photos.
In terms of actually a video editor, I was looking at Activity this morning, just like in preparation for this meeting, and there's a few things that you kind of go, it's not perfect yet. I don't think it's not.
It's a little rough. Yeah.
There's a few UI issues, and there's a few little dodgy bits, but it works. Like, I couldn't see how anyone would be able to use it.
It's simple is one thing I like about it. It doesn't have bells and whistles, so you can just go and edit your video together and then save it. And
like the one thing I thought.
I actually tried it like about a year ago. So I just recorded an hour of video from the TV from DVB-T. So I got an MPEG-2 stream, and PDB wasn't even able to open that. So
it's also got a lot better.
Yeah. So, but I guess it has.
I don't know what codecs it supports. So I know that
it's adding GStreamer. Yeah, like GStreamer, it's all in there.
So the biggest.
I don't know what that means. That means it can do anything.
Yeah, well, like GStreamer, it can do anything GStreamer can do. Like that's really.
All the last year's improvements in GStreamer have advantage.
That's sure. It's full trained with stuff.
I also talked to one of the Collabora guys, and he said they have a full-time maintainer on it, and they're very interested in Ubuntu shipping it by default, and they'll take our bug reports and stuff.
Is there any webcam integration or desktop recording integration?
No. It's more of a Linuxy thing.
Take cheese and mash it together. They're whole Python.
Cheese do video?
Yeah, Cheese does video.
Cheese does video. It would be really cool if Cheese had an ultra simple editor. Just like you could cut your whatever you took on there.
I'll just use Ubuntu. I don't know. So maybe there's a capture button or something in Ubuntu that actually uses Cheese to do the capture.
That would be
okay. So before we go on, does anyone know how you pronounce the name of this product?
Ubuntu, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Let's rename it.
Okay. So I asked about renaming it. And they said, I always call it Pity Vi. So
I do use VI, but
yeah, exactly. So I asked about renaming it, and he said, "Well, the developers have been working on it for a really long time, and probably be resistant to it. But if we come up with a really good name,
GNOME Video Editor,
we might
don't reinvent the wheel when you're trying.
GNOME Video Editor works for me.
It could be Pi Video Editor.
Video Editor.
Keep a little bit of that.
Okay, so can someone get an action for me to approach Collabora with the stunning new name of GNOME Video Editor? Well, actually, could we call it? Is it like appropriate for us to call something GNOME something if it's not?
Yeah, well, it is meant just GDK and it is GNOME project. I think it's official. I thought it's official already.
You don't put GNOME in the menu name.
Yeah, just a video editor.
So rename it to Video Editor. Well, then it would just be called Pity Vi Video Editor. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So
would they actually agree to help us with triaging the bugs and fixing
yes.
the bugs? Because I expect as soon as we install it by default, people will actually use it and we get a
So I think if we do this, we need to do it like right away, triage the bugs, and then decide by Alpha 2 whether it's going to be something that we can support.
Right now, not a lot of people have it installed, so I guess once we do install it by default, we will get a lot more users.
So I'm saying we should install it really soon, and then I think we'd probably get enough sense from the
kick it if it's too broken.
Yeah.
So someone's making the point.
It doesn't support very basic format, digital video format.
So,
DV format is a bit weird. Like Kino does it, but I don't think they've added to GStreamer yet. But I think they're trying to add it. It's a difficult thing.
Is it better to not have a video editor or to have one that doesn't work with your camera?
Yeah, well, just say if you want a DV editor, you can install.
How popular are traditional video cameras that do DV compared to cell phones, iPhones?
Yeah, I know my camera does MPEG.
ZI6s. There's all these other cameras that just do mass storage and stuff.
Why don't you just say it instead of
well, okay.
So it's called
answer.
Yeah. So I saw a post on a blog from March of this year. It looks like someone's thinking about adding support for all the various HD formats. There's two main that are used: ABC HD, which is used on most cameras that don't use tape, and then the tape-based ones, mini-DB cameras that do HD use HDD. So if it doesn't support either of those, then it would only really be useful for cameras that record, like on the iPhone, like you were saying,
like flip phones and stuff.
Yeah, if those don't use ABC HD, they may even.
Those just make AVI.
They do AVI. It does MPEG. It does many of the main ones that does all.
So I just try to import like a video clip that I recorded from TV, and still they do it.
Yeah.
Is it not able to do it?
No.
So you'd have to convert it. But is it better to so then we just don't have a video editor because one scenario is not?
No.
In terms of default, you can't have export anyway. You have to install that. So in terms of an OGG editor, it does it, and that's what it's made.
So you can do GDK record my desktop and edit that, and that works quite well.
That works.
That would be like the screencast.
So could we add support for downloading codecs from?
Yeah, well, if they try to import it, so we could.
It's GStreamer.
GStreamer, you get it automatic.
So it says need to search for
GStreamer does it for you. Could someone get a note on that so we could confirm that?
I just tried it.
Oh, you just did it. Okay.
It didn't find the codec, but
it tried.
Yeah, it was like teletext, like the
one thing
one that you have on TV.
One thing I'm concerned about is if we were to add a video editor, and number 3, if we remove GIMP, people are going to see that as we have made a trade-off between a photo editor and a video editor. Even if that's not the case, that's I think what people will think.
Yeah, well, I think
we're not getting rid of
editor. Actually, in terms of, we already have a full editor. It's FSpot.
We actually have 3 because you can also rotate with Eye of GNOME.
Yeah.
So now we have the GIMP, FSpot, and Eye of GNOME, and they don't all together. They all fulfill all the functionality that we need. So I also share your concern. Like, there's going to be, if we decide that it's time to remove the GIMP, this is going to be a controversial decision anyway.
Yeah, it will be much controversial, but it's, I think the GIMP, the main problem people have is the UI. Like, FSpot is a great UI to actually edit it. You can just crop it down or edit the colors. It's very simple, and it's a lot better to...
Hey, dude, who maintains OpenShot?
Equit. Extra.
Oh, dude, thanks, dude. Come on. Oh.
It is actively maintained, but the UI sucks. You can put it in by default.
So the UI could be a little more optimized or usable.
No, it's not even
That's one thing that
What? I mean,
I think it's really
just doing the obvious, like open, and it doesn't show any videos, because open is not the way to open a video. It's to open a project, and then you have to import clips into it. So.
That's pretty normal for these
I don't know.
applications.
It's just that I
so if you used one on any other, if you've used it on any other application, it pretty much works the same way. But we can Mr. Siegel, could we ask for a design review of it? I'm sure the Collabora team would be interested in any feedback.
Well, one thing I was going to propose, maybe FPT can comment on this, is some user testing. Maybe we could user test PTV versus GIMP and talk about
the GIMP is not related.
Yeah, the GIMP
doesn't have any overlapping functionality.
And it has a load of tests anyway, but it's...
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Ubuntu as a whole system with all the applications taken together, and these are both sort of media editing things, and if we can get information from users on how they edit and what kind of things they edit, I think it's useful for making all the decisions on the board.
I personally use both and FSpot, like the GIMP, FSpot, and PTV, and really I can't see why we keep the GIMP in there if it's going to be duplicate functionality.
It's 4 megs because we got rid of all the help. So that's pretty big for us.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's like 2 languages.
I think with FSpot, people don't use the GIMP other than like professionals, and that they could extend.
All right, so we're moving on to number 3. I'm fine with that. I think the other thing about the GIMP is that if new users see the user interface, I think like you're looking for like a basic photo editing tool and you see the GIMP UI, I don't think that's a good experience.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
they try hard they're trying hard to actually fix the UI. But it's far away. They're not actually doing it right now.
So it's not going to be ready for Lucid, and they're just putting it all in a single window. It's
never going to be easy to use.
It's not supposed to be. Like the scenario that it fulfills is like really hardcore. I mean, so my heartache about removing the GIMP is that the GIMP is a really good example of the power of free and open source software as a model for delivering value and for creating collaboration, because it replaces Photoshop, which like the entry level.
But they don't include Photoshop by default.
Were you going to say something, Matt?
Yeah, so to me, as a professional graphic designer, there's a huge value of advertising that we have for replacements for stuff like Illustrator and Photoshop. But we should do more work on actually advertising it to non-Ubuntu users. and just creating that consciousness rather than. I don't think putting it on CD actually fulfills that.
It does
because you wouldn't expect Photoshop to be in the default install of macOS, for example.
Yeah.
Because it's for professionals, full stop. But these professionals should know that these things exist.
Oh, well, like in terms
you make a good point. So it's not leaving it. So I think you're saying leaving it on the CD doesn't fulfill the goal that I just articulated. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Like in terms of actual reputation, the GIMP is known anyway. So if somebody wants a great image editor, they go to the GIMP. If they want something basic, generally, if I want to do something for 5 minutes, just crop a photo or maybe change the color or whatever, I open up F-Spot.
Except you have to import it into your library, right?
Yeah. Right.
So that's something I'd like to solve.
Yeah,
so like,
solve it.
I would like to. So what I would like to see is that we have. In the ideal world, we just have F-Spot, and if you clicked on a photo in Nautilus, it would open in that F-Spot, and you would have like the folder view, but you'd be able to crop and do red eye removal and rotate, and maybe export to other formats.
What about Eye of GNOME? Doesn't that open much faster than F-Spot?
Yeah, it does.
It does, but you can hardly edit anything there.
You can't. All you can do is rotate.
Yeah. But we're saying in the ideal situation, we wouldn't have a separate.
Well, the nice thing about then Photoshop is it bridges you into your library if you want to use the library features. So like you can open F-Spot in a viewer mode or a library mode.
So maybe, so are we talking about getting rid of Eye of GNOME here? Or, maybe taking both, like GIMP and Eye of GNOME?
I
think there's a difference between viewing and editing.
Yeah, but like if you can open F-Spot in viewer mode, then...
Well, yeah, but when you're viewing something, you might say, I want to edit this or tweak this file while you're viewing it.
Yeah.
You don't want to open another application to do it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we push viewing down to like Nautilus or File Manager anyway?
Yeah, well,
that's what it basically is now.
So what do we need?
Because sometimes you want to edit the photo, so you're looking at it. It's like imagine like if you opened a text file and you're reading it and you're like, I can't. It's like a PDF. I can't edit it now. I have to close it and open some totally other application. That's what Eye of GNOME is like.
So maybe it's fun.
Sorry,
F-Spot has a viewer.
No.
Yeah, get rid of it, right? Push image viewing down into like Nautilus.
Well, that's what the Eye of GNOME experience is like.
Okay, but for basic viewing of photos, I just have my photos recorded from the camera. I just want to view my photos. Most users would only want to do that. What they want to do is double click on photo, it opens up, and they can click next.
So we can do that with multiple applications today. Often they also want to say, actually I want to crop this a little.
What I'm saying is that right now, this basic functionality doesn't exist because you can't click next.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
Yeah, totally. And I can know. If you open it, and either F-Spot or Eye of GNOME supports that. No, everyone in the folder. You hit the left-right key, and if you hit F9, you get the folder view.
That works.
It has an arrow and just
Hey, Rick, for applications that wouldn't fit on a CD, but that we want users to find more easily, maybe we could do something in the software center.
Is MPT
showcase
here?
applications.
Yep.
So we've been talking. So I think we want a staff pick section in the software center where we can put the GIMP, we can put Inkscape,
Polaroid.
all the stuff that we really think is awesome, but shouldn't be installed by default. Are you amenable to such a design solution? Okay, sweet. Because then I think the GIMP should be there, and we can
Because frankly, people don't know about the GIMP. I mean, we know about the GIMP, but
I know in terms of actual professionals, I think they know about it.
Linux users know about it. So every release, we're going to get users who have not used Linux before, and we want them to stick with it. And they're not going to. I agree with you. They're not going to know about it, and they should. I also agree with MT that having it on the disk that they're never going to install is not going to create that knowledge that they should try the disk. So
it's not only GIMP, it's Inkscape, it's Blender.
There's a few good ones that you can't include,
but we should start some kind of Linux designer blog where people can go see what these applications are.
Because installing is so easy.
Little bits. I need to treat this as graphic design as opposed to just having this graphic section where you have endless.
So maybe we should.
Right, you could have a meta package for
where it's just
the best graphic design
or software playlist.
Could somebody get that? Could someone get a note on that? He's suggesting he called them mixes. I think we'd implement as like meta packages, where you could say just like give me the graphic designer package, and it would implement all the it would install all the apps that you just talked about. What's that? The suite. Yeah. All right.
So we could then put those into a section to show them in the software center.
Right, or even in staff decks, we could, or something like.
Oh, I think
so. FSWAT, just going back to the good thing, FSWAT has a viewer. Do you think during development you can switch that on as the default to see how people if they like it?
Yes. Yeah. So the solution that has been proposed to me is that we do the following: we remove the GIMP and we remove IVGNOME. When the user clicks on a picture in Nautilus, it opens FSpot in view mode. Then we figure out how to bring cropping, red eye removal, and rotation.
I think it's a button inside if you.
Bring that into the viewer mode, because currently FSpot, when you're in viewer mode, will not offer you the editing functionality.
It's completely hidden, but the code's all there.
Okay. So just make a button somewhere.
Just figure out, like, can we like tweak the code to bring that, or maybe there's even settings somewhere. So, is there any like C# developer here who would be willing to investigate that?
No, it's just one photo. There's nothing else.
You got a volunteer.
What? No, there's like a.
Get a volunteer.
So it takes like 10 seconds to open.
It took 10 seconds to open?
And then you kind of like go to the next picture and
Hey Ken, could you show him how to get the folder view?
FSpot dash V?
No, how to get the folder view so we can go see the next photo.
The site, you have to actually open multiple images. FSpot doesn't detect there's other images.
Oh, it doesn't?
That should be true. That's something else that needs to be fixed too.
Yeah, that
is weak.
Requires you to say, I want to open this file.
You have to open the folder. So like we'd have to like.
So we can modify that.
So could someone get a note on that? So like in order to make it work, we'd have to enable folder view.
Do we want to do that by default? Sometimes you just want to look at that one folder.
Well,
with a bazillion images.
You really need it. Like it's really frustrating when you open a picture and then you can't see the next picture.
Right, but
it's infuriating.
That's going to cause people not to use Ubuntu. I mean, because it's I've installed Ubuntu for my. As long
as it does it lazy, that's not care.
Yeah, it should work just like IVGNOME.
Yeah. 2 years ago, it worked like that.
You know what?
Next, and it would discover.
Okay.
I'd just like to mention that
2 years ago we had
Yeah. Do you think there's any way we could get cropping added to IVGNOME?
I think they're trying to work on it somewhere.
Yes.
What do you do? Crap.
I know, but you can't crop photos in IVGNOME.
Actually, people mostly want to view their photos if they want to edit as they can see the editor. I don't think that
they can do what?
They can start the editor. I don't think it's that.
No, but like in terms of
I'm not sure it's that big of a deal either. Like I'm amenable to that. Like, and you can also right click on it and say edit, and it'll open it in FSpot for you. Yeah, like you can open another application.
That's actually the experience that I think from
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, can we capture as the planner record? We're going to keep IVGNOME as the default viewer. We're going to remove the GIMP, and then we're going to have open with FSpot as the editing functionality.
We could also remove FSpot and switch to GThumb, which is fast.
Okay, well there's GThumb, and then if we're going down that path, then there's that new Vala thing. What do they? Those guys. Shotwell.
Hey, wait, if we're getting rid of GIMP, we can get rid of the GIMP toolkit, right? I hear it's big.
That's big?
Yeah.
And buggy?
Yeah, lots of bugs.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay.
Should we have a look to GThumb instead of IVGNOME? It does photo editing.
To what?
GThumb.
GThumb. Does GThumb have a...
It's faster than IVGNOME, it does photo editing, it does cropping.
We get rid of GThumb because it kind of sucked.
Because it didn't have... Why did we get rid of it?
Because we thought that FSpot was better for the slides and the selection.
Can we get rid of FSpot and IVGNOME and just go back to GThumb and...
for editing and
what's wrong with that?
FSpot is much nicer, like the view, the collection.
But it just seems like there's so much overlap between GThumb viewer and FSpot. Like, why would users...
GThumb and FSpot are pretty redundant. That's true. Eye of GNOME isn't because it has a very limited feature set. It's
Right.
fast as hell.
Yeah, it does it super well and
Right.
pretty. So
And it's integrated with Nautilus.
what?
It's like
And
it's a little more integrated with
it
Nautilus.
looks good with It looks like it belongs as part of the GNOME desktop.
Maybe we could include a viewer in Nautilus instead. Like it already automatically comes the images. Why can't we just have a little pop-out kind of thing?
I think you can, or at least you used to be able to. There was a
That's Eye of GNOME, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like totally
What's
the
embedded in
experience that
Nautilus?
users have.
Oh, well, if it's embedded in Nautilus, it'd be a lot better.
It used to be this way, and we removed that from Nautilus.
I would have thought that would be a lot better functionality than actually
Okay.
making a separate program than
I think that at some point, so historically in Nautilus you could embed everything. So you could view your PDF inside Nautilus, for example. And at some point we decided that, okay, no, let's...
It wasn't working for users?
No.
Yeah, they've been down this path.
So it might be working for images, but we have that also for multimedia files, and it wasn't working. So
Like
maybe images is a different case, but...
I just have an image in my head of like when you double click an image, like some sort of thing, like it just opens the image and kind of just pushes it out in front of the screen and has a left and a right thing, and it won't be too hard to implement.
Okay, so let's...
In terms of design, anyway, it
We
looks
should
better.
take a step back and think what are the categories of things that users will do with photos and how we can fulfill each category. To me, it's quite obvious that basic action is to view the photo and to go next triggers. Yeah. Right now it's fulfilled by the icon.
Right.
Some users may want to rotate the photo left or right. So that's like the next step.
Also fulfilled by
it does that. Perhaps some users, but not that many, will want to edit their photo.
Oh, come on. Not that many
Not
users want to
that
crop
many.
photos? I mean,
It's not going to be 70% of people who edit the photo.
I agree. I
People
think
who
it's
use
50-50.
photos.
Huh?
Who crops photos?
I think it's 50-50.
I think a lot of people crop
Right,
photos.
with
Like-
modern cameras, we're going to need to edit the photos. They're already rotated.
But you need to crop them, and
Yeah.
you do red eye removal. I mean, these are like really
Trust
basic
me,
functions.
that most people will not be interested in cropping their photos.
Well, red eye removal is basic.
But some people will, and for these people, we should perhaps have an edit button in the opener that would take you to export.
That's what we've just been saying.
Right.
Yeah. So
Let's just keep the sort of discussion organized around the user rather than.
Is there anyone in this room, subject to some slight changes here and there, that doesn't think we should A, get rid of GIMP, B, keep Eye of GNOME, and 3, also have FSWAT? I mean, is that the consensus here?
yeah.
Because that was the scope of
So
the discussion.
right, but we were just discussing replacing. We were discussing throwing G-thumb viewer in the mix, and so that's what we were discussing. So.
But it's,
I don't think we should org. We should
Yeah.
use FSWAT and work with upstream to fix what it
I think it wouldn't take too much to make it.
The thing about Eye of GNOME is it starts really fast and looks nice. And F-Spot starts slowly and doesn't.
That's never had a problem with that spot in 2 seconds. We were talking the other day about putting in Wibber. Wibber takes 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. We only have 12 minutes, so I'd like to stop. Can somebody please capture that the plan of record is to remove the GIMP from the default install, please? Are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah. Well, hands up.
Okay. Okay, who is not in agreement with removing the GIMP from the default install? What are you worried about?
I just think I think that, so we moved Pigeon in favor of Empathy in the last cycle, and I think Pigeon and GIMP were just exemplary applications that are removed.
I think that's a good argument for that, honestly. Because GIMP is only good to few users that.
Oh no!
It's not.
I think that the argument for removing GIMP is reasonable, but I also I think we're losing something really special.
Yeah, but it's just additive suggest.
Okay.
Yeah, also if you replace it with like the suite that we propose.
If we actually do that, if we actually can implement the staff picks.
Okay, so let's note the risk that the community and the users will
not discover it.
Well, okay.
Yeah, well, you can make it the scope.
But I think let's take it as the plan of record, and I think we should do it soon. What about adding? So we didn't finish the first one though. Is it the plan of record that we're going to put in PityBuy as a video editor by default?
Yeah, but it needs.
No. Why are you saying no, Pity?
Well, I mean, if you can overhaul it to actually do something useful, okay.
It does a lot. Why does it do anything useful?
And like in terms of what we need to put in by default, like you can't put in support for MPEG at the moment, like by default. So as an OGG editor, that's what it's designed to do.
Who here is a regular user of PDB who's done like 5 or 10 videos in it?
Okay.
Because
that's just.
Well, it takes your
spectacularly
screencast.
fail to do.
It
like
rocks your
anything.
screencast, and it also imports from my Flipcam.
So you use it to edit Flipcam photos and screencasts.
Flipcam movies and screencasts.
Like from a phone or something.
Okay.
Well, I have a
If it works
Flipcam.
for you, that's okay. It
So-
just spectacularly fails for me.
Because
I mean, if it works for you, that's
it
fine.
fails in the sense that it doesn't support your scenario, which is
No, I
the
just I had to reuse
What
and just
format
try
video we're
to
trying to?
tried MP4, which were imported, but you.
MP4 is a little strange in GStream at the moment. That's
No,
why.
but I mean you can play it back, but I mean arranging it in the timeline doesn't work, it crashes. So I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I might just be too dumb to do that, obviously.
If it's buggy, like then we shouldn't do it. So I think we should put it in soon.
So if it works for anyone else like you, then it's okay.
It does work, but it crashes every now and then and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we need to.
So I think with ask Barbara and see what.
So
I've talked to Collabra. So
if you can get a maintainer for it, then
they have a maintainer. They have a full-time maintainer on it.
Yeah, then.
But that doesn't mean it's going to be quality enough to ship in time. So I don't think
we can try it.
Yeah, so I think the plan of record is to try it and to see what kind of bugs get thrown off of it. I don't think we can take as a plan of record that we're going to ship it in the LTS of Ubuntu at this time.
I think I might also be worth some user testing.
To see if you can tweak it.
There's not now.
The nice thing is, David, is it follows all the conventions.
Some people are asking some questions in IRC.
Oh, oops. What's the PopCon data like for them? Well, it's installed by default, so PopCon data is not meaningful.
It still show usage though. Yeah, PopCon has you recent usage. I don't think it's useless.
I didn't say it was useless, did I? Just not. What? How does it measure popularity for default installed apps? Like,
But GitHub is just a simple view. I mean, it's a good view.
It's usage? I thought it was like how many times it's installed or
It has lots of variables. One for installs, one for usage, and one for like compute upgrades.
Okay, can you bring it up and say what it is? Sorry, Caesar, I stand corrected.
No.
Apparently it has actual usage data.
Good job.
What?
Good job.
No, you have to... Yeah, OpenShot I have, and I was asking about that. He was saying that the UI is rather complicated.
No, it's not complicated. It's just ugly as hell and not integrated with GNOME at all. It was designed to be a good video editor, but it has the UI, the serious UI problems, and it's not packaged at the moment, and it's just and you probably
Does it have an upstream maintainer?
Yeah, it has loads of upstream maintainers, but it's. I'd say in terms of actually shipping on a CD, it has issues. I think by default, I think it needs to install everything or something, rather than.
All right.
PopCon says tiny percentage of users using it.
Okay. Enough said. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that.
I think the presence of strong third-party applications is a good statement of our platform. Like Pigeon being not part of Ubuntu, but things that you can get from third parties to put on Ubuntu, and that being so good and of high quality. That's a good statement.
You think? What was that? I don't understand. You think it's a better statement to not have them installed by default?
I'd say look at the stuff that you can get. Like other people are doing stuff for Ubuntu. You can put this on your Ubuntu. The presence of stuff that is not immediately worth-oriented the operating system, like the fact that you can get good apps for it, is good.
Get us a plan of record for photos. What do you think it is, Seb?
One of the game, try to look at improving export if you can, like have the viewer mode work better and do photo editing. And keep GNOME for now, but if you can get export better than what GNOME is doing, maybe.
So maybe look towards Lucid
So
and get rid of.
who owns that problem?
I can.
That sounds work.
How much for the editing stuff or?
Seb is going to drive the picture, the photo experience.
Okay.
It's basically.
Jason's working on it right now.
Oh, Jason is?
He was looking at.
Oh, okay, awesome. Sorry.
He said one more patch to make it find other images in the same folder.
Oh, nice.
Well, how do you go on IRC, Jason?
DVO.
DVO? Okay. Can someone catch that as an action? DVO to.
So that's actually already kind of a way to like open with export in
Yeah, we were saying like there's like,
be a button.
and maybe we could change it to say edit photo or something instead of open.
Or it could be in the toolbar, right?
Or something. Just like in. Do you think we can add a edit button in the toolbar?
I think it's also worth.
Can somebody get that as an action?
Picking that spot and say make it
including the button for.
Add an edit button in IVGNOME.
Yeah, like it is a photo.
Work with upstream to see if they can speed it up a bit.
Yeah, if the biggest complaint about FSpot is that it's slow to start up, and that's the only real compelling reason for IVGNOME. And that seems to be like getting FSpot faster, and then you cut down the number of extraneous panels.
Okay. So I feel that we have a good plan of record that we're all satisfied, if not happy with. We have 3 or 4 more minutes. Are there any other areas of default applications?
Just one thing. Can we add an action just to get the design team to look at the video to see if it's what we can do with the UI to make it more fluid?
For Pitify? Yeah, we've got that should be an action. Well, and the Collabora guys are going to be in Millbank in like a week or 2 to look at empathy anyway. So if that goes well, maybe you can just repeat that process with Pitify. Like I say, the good news about Pitify is that they were very careful to follow existing conventions.
Yeah.
So if you know how to do video editing on another platform with another editor, Pitify is quite intuitive.
So I went to
Okay, what do you want to do?
Yes, I went through the seeds to see which applications we install by default, and they do seem pretty clean. So I basically picked out 3 which are worth discussing perhaps. So that's a la carte, TS client, and Vinagre. So a la carte is the menu editor, which regularly causes us bugs because people screw up and then don't recover anymore. And TS client and Vinagre are like remote desktop viewers. I'm not sure how popular they are, so I think we should probably just keep them, but those are the 3 that I found out of.
And Vinagre?
I think Vinagre is going to end up replacing TS Client. I think they've got a plugin already for the same functionality. So, and TS Client's a dead project as far as
But they do different protocols, right? Like RDP
yes,
versus
Vinagre has plugins
BNC.
for other protocols. That was one of the recent enhancements. And so I'm pretty sure it's going to have a TS Client plugin and then.
So it'll have basically legacy support for terminal servers.
Right now we have like 2 menu entries for the same thing, and it's confusing.
Yeah. So, but he's saying
Vinagre
will
is a
subsume it.
remote desktop viewer, and it's what's any protocol you plug this.
I mean, this is a Banshee Rhythm Box.
Banshee Rhythm Box.
Oh, do we have? When's that scheduled?
There's none.
There is none. Oh, that was a hideous oversight.
One thing I wanted to bring up.
We didn't get
Nobody
that.
requested it, right?
Well, wait.
No, we did decide on like keeping what we have.
Oh, we're sticking with.
Yes.
Lucid.
As a person who used Banshee back in Karmic and who tested the whole way through, just in case we actually did include it, like even though we weren't. When we switched to whatever we're using now, for I think it's device care or something like that, it broke the iPod functionality in Banshee, and they can't fix it. And like, there's some sort of weirdness there, so there's no chance.
But we're sticking with. Is it true, Seb, that we're sticking with Rhythmbox for the foreseeable future?
At least for the cycle.
We've got some upstream issues and stuff.
But I just wanted to mention.
I'm not arguing one or the other.
Yeah, I
I just
know.
really need it clear.
Rhythmbox. The answer is Rhythmbox.
Rhythmbox for Lucid, but then do you expect Banshee and Lucid plus 1, or you don't still?
We don't.
Well, make decisions then. Like, see what Banshee you're doing.
So there's a lot of people who rely on the desktop, and some people are trying to align long-term plans, and so
that's my interest.
The thing is,
I got that captured, Dylan.
Upstreamers, the big plans like to merge Spot and Banshee at some point. Yes, I would like to have the same layout at the bottom, which is like indexing photos, music, videos, and everything.
I think it'll be a number of years before they're ready.
Wait until that settles, all that changes.
Yes.
So I think you're good to go with Rhythmbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think you can. Yeah, and we'll be cognizant of everyone who's got a stake in the game.
Just judging how much we invest and focus on and after. if it's a plan to change soon.
It's not. So you're good. Okay.
What about what's next saying with GeoScan? Did we make discussion on that?
We haven't. Genome scan, the last time I tried it, was just a complete dog. It just could barely start it.
I've got a session on that.
But we may replace it with something else. So there's a whole scanning session to run it.
Please come on. I'll investigate it.
Okay. I'm sorry we didn't get to it, Neil. Do you want to? It's 9:55. The session's over. Do you want to have another session to go over the menus, or do it online?
Not really. I was just dropped a memory.
Okay. All right. I think this is a really productive session. We have actual plans. Is there anything that we said that we would do that doesn't have a person assigned to pull it off? Seb, are you going to add PityBuy to the disk?
Yes.
Okay. And remove the GIMP and everything. Okay. Thank you, everybody.